Oh, I need my character sheet.
Oh, it's one of those sessions. Okay, Kelder sees that woman you told me about, and all.
That's weird that it's
Is that
Chad.
better? Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, I think that's a him problem.
Oh, well, it was the Zoom audio. Yeah, Kelder sees that woman you told him about. He sees all the enforcers and the witch hunters. He sees what Davos is doing, and he tells Phi and the Dragonborn to follow them. And then he tells the bird and Horus to follow me, and follows them.
I can see it. I'll mute it, it's fine.
Did you get all that?
What?
Like John always does.
Yes.
Or is he going to look at the chaos going around it? He's just going to turn, pivot, and walk the opposite direction. And shove anyone that gets in his way out of his way.
Fair enough. If they're here, if they're here looking for the old guard, there's a good chance they're probably here looking for me too. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, okay. So Phi, actually, that's a really good idea. Sticking with the barbarian sounds like a great idea.
The barbarian's just like, nope.
So that's he wishes Phi and the Dragonborn the best of luck, and he leaves with Horus, and then he says to Pleasant, "Come on."
So, just to be clear what's happening, we just like, I'm so confused. We walked out of the dungeon that we were in, and there's a house, and it's on fire. That's a house? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I see it. It's in the bottom corner. Okay. I was. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm hmm. Oh, yeah.
Just one thing that I need to confirm. Almost, if he, one, I reckon anything that he's wearing, because it's not armor, it was just clothes, it's probably, yeah. Yeah, just confirming that, because then my other thing was going to be, well, is any of it still standing after the critics? Good. Yeah, I will say Oris isn't being polite about his get out of dodge. It is if someone doesn't get out his way, they are being moved with force.
Even more reason to follow him.
'23. Fucking hell. That's all Oris says. He was moving with some strength and some speed and just got put on his ass.
hefty. She's sturdy.
Yeah, over. Indeed. Now I'll be on my.
She wants the axe.
Kelder doesn't even pay her any attention. He just helps Oris get back to his feet.
Yeah, what was it? It's very angrily standing up and just being like, okay, let.
Like, do you know of any other safe houses in this area? Like any other safe places we can go to hide out?
Can I?
I'm not as trusted by the old guard as you think. The fact that I willingly sold them out to you should have revealed that from the
Oops.
get-go.
Fair enough.
My plan is to get the hell out of Dodge. I spotted Copperhead when we were stood there. Which means the bastard knows us. Which means we're burnt. And I got a nice weapon, a bit of gold, and a man that needs an axe in his skull. I'm off home.
Are you talking about Copper?
No, but if I see him again, he'll get one too.
Okay, fair enough. Either way, we need to find somewhere to lay low.
Or is he gonna
So really, that's it? Like, we went straight to skipping town?
Yeah. Almost he's gonna go for whatever's quickest. If there's a means of transport that's in the city that he thinks he could steal, he'll take that. If not, it is just head click his way that will get him to Parnak. Yeah, but
Keller
think-
wants to find some new clothes.
um He'll stop for a second, yeah. Obviously, he's just going to shout at her. Conglomerate or want the artifacts? Which of the two? For a chance to chat, 50 gold or a way out the city guaranteed. A horse or two. Knowledge isn't mainly my thing. It's more his. And I might not be going with him anymore. So not really interesting. I ain't gonna lie, I'm intrigued. Oh, let's all see what Keldor wanted and then follow.
So Kelder wanted to find some like a change of clothes. He's basically dressed in like conglomerate gear.
Or let's all sit, deliberately pick up the pipe and take a toke and just 23?
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question: is whether or not I even knew where they were.
Yeah. I'll stand off to the side and kind of listen in on their conversation, but I won't sit down with them.
Even she says,
I guess Kelder's gonna sit with them. He's kind of freaked out because all of a sudden he went from having like a whole crew of people to more or less being on his own with these two that he barely knows.
What's up? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well then, that's not nice to just...
What do you mean, my problem? I don't I don't know what she means by other operatives are already taking care of my problem.
I'd be down for some secrets. You know me. Mm. So she's a furry.
I think
Cute.
she might be some kind of god.
Well, she was really strong, so makes sense.
And she knew shit she shouldn't know.
17.
And she don't look chained like a summoned one probably would. Can I retract all the stupid shit I've done?
Kelder orders a drink, like a strong drink, as soon as possible.
Manly.
I order
Will
one
they
for
do a
Oris
barrel
too.
of vodka?
Well, we know about the bow, so I look at Oris's axe. Do I know anything about it? 20. I knew him. I've met. Interesting. So I explained that to her. It did strike me as unusual that we each seem to have acquired one in such a short amount of time.
Oh, it's all draw.
He pulls out the bow and he sets it on the table.
Oh, wait, didn't you see? When we were in the dungeon, yeah, you saw the lines with all the weapons connecting them.
Keller looks around and says, "Where's my drink?"
Horace reaches over, grabs Keldor's and his own, and downs them both.
Definitely keeps that one away from Horace. He grabs both the glasses and downs them, and then they get the bottle, and Kelder's like holding it at arm's length away from him. Yeah, then Kelder drinks, because Kelder needs to drink and think.
So you're saying lots of things about a lot of different shite I really couldn't care about. The only thing that's actually useful information, or is gonna stop me placing this axe between the skull of Arcturus? If not, thanks for the drink. You would too. If it did to you, it did.
Ta! I'm like, what? I feel like you should know that already. You seem so intelligent.
Can people stop with the elven bullshit? I can't understand it.
Because magic sword.
Yeah, how does having these weapons together make them more powerful? I tell her everything I learned about the Mage Year.
I know who.
Noted. Kelder actually pauses for a moment and then he pulls out a piece of paper and he writes that down.
Ain't Rastigard near Ormus's? Ormus just can't go.
As I said.
Are they friend or foe?
But you're right.
Or does it just keep going? Is this interesting secret for you? I know who holds the Wayne.
What?
The Wayne crystal? Wayne? Wine? W-A-I-N?
We have to make sure they're okay before we go anywhere or do anything. We owe them that much. Yeah, Pleasant can do whatever Pleasant wants to do.
Kelder keeps drinking. Kelder drinks faster.
Or shanks the bottle.
Could I form a pact with this creature?
We're banging weapons.
It's the
Every
new fist
time.
bump.
There could be a time we're gonna miss and just stab each other.
Speak for yourself, I have a bow.
I plan to just stab you. At least one to blame it on that.
He stabs me with the axe and he just goes, oops.
Pro blade. You're strong. You know fun shit. What would you want to make me not have to do a fairly long travel to the borders of Parnak?
How many days do we have until the city starts burning? No, I would have said it. I would have said it softly before she went too far away.
Do you two want to walk on ahead a little bit? I'll catch up.
looks at Pleasant and shrugs. He says, I'm probably going to go for a walk anyways.
Gah! I'm just over here eating some bread.
Pecking at the table.
Unlike a little
Like
tender
stabbing at this
friend.
hunk of bread on her plate with her beak.
I don't need her pity food.
Oh, this will take it. It looks like nice food. Also take the waiter into one corner at some point.
It doesn't really feel like it's something like that.
I think we need to pay to keep you quiet, don't we, little man? Didn't he hear and then act like a bit off because he heard about the fact that the city's gonna burn in 2 days? Just pats his face and goes, smart man.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Quietly leaves, doesn't say anything to anybody.
So cute. It's like a screensaver.
Yeah.
So where is my home? What?
Oh, joy!
They didn't get. People won't be able to hear your fox lady
Lovely.
voice.
Yeah.
Really sad. That is really sad.
So where is my home in relation to where we are now? Like,
Sure, let's do this one. Hold on a second here. Thanks for watching. Probably seemed like a great episode if you were watching. Probably nobody. It's fine. I'll just make sure that I put a big note on this saying how dumb I am. Okay.
Well, you could do like a little recap short.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think the only two people watching are me and one other person in this group who has it open in a different tab.
Yeah.
We internet famous, baby.
Oh yeah. So if the map's changed, you can see that there are 2 green circles on the map. The province of Osiria. So the segments here that are named, like it looks like it was actually written on the map, are provinces. Okay. The nations that live within the provinces are their own. And then the 2 green circles that are placed are the 2 cities that you've been in. Runaska is where you come from, and Osiria is where you're at.
okay.
So she was saying, or I was saying, that if you were to travel and leave this place, you can go to Liberis, which is very locked down by the conglomerate and the Ludos armies, because reasons known to you guys. In the Civil War several hundred years ago, Liberis has been kind of taken over by the Ludos kingdom. So they're still allowed to operate, but they do not have their ruling bodies, the pelagic arbiters and the like. Munio is a bit more free to act as it pleases, and the ports are a bit more free in that city, in that kingdom. So if you're trying to leave, it's not a bad place to go. And you can see the blue lines on the outside. Yes or no? Yeah. If you see the blue lines, those are actually like trade routes. If you were to leave Munio, the only trade route it goes to is to Brayport, which is a city south of the capital of Liberis.
But you could change at Brayport to get on a one that will take you to Lastigar.
Yeah.
Or even near Stormloft.
Correct. If you were to go or west to Ludos, it would be troubling because Ludos is a bit more strict and militarily powerful, and definitely not as receptive to people just kind of wandering through, unless you have a good story as to why that's the case. But Ludos leads to Darg, Darg leads to Tessa, and Tessa leads to Vendar, and then a bit of a travel from Whiterun to Runaska. A bit more on ground, because most of the waters to the north are not traversable or easily traversable by boat. And then the fourth option is head south to Tolania, which leads through the Galatia region, which is basically the southern portion, into Parnak through Stormloft and Drains. So that's another option. But like I mentioned, the only city in all of Arwen that is an elvish city, like an actual held city, is the city of Tolania. And it's high up in the mountains, and it's very hard to get to. And the rest of the region is basically a very wild place.
What about Weast, though?
Weast, if you go Weast, wait, what? What's Weast? You mean west?
No, it's just a SpongeBob reference.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, I get it now. I had to think about my brain, didn't work. But yeah, those are your options, pretty much.
Going north sounds the best.
Yeah, right into the icy waters of the northern oceans. Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, didn't you say it's like the most free city?
Oh, and Munio, northwest or northeast. Yes, Munio is
Yeah.
a good option. That is not wrong. Sorry, I thought you meant just like straight off the top.
I just want to die.
Let's go find the Crimson Slayer, guys. Yeah, the equivalent of Santa Claus in this campaign setting.
Is there any way to get to Brayport without going through Liberis or Munio? Just heading in that direction?
No.
No. So yeah, Munio would probably be the best chance.
What's in Munia? Why are we going to Munia?
It's just the most free, because Ludos is not good because they're really strict, and Liberis is cool, they have ports and stuff, but they're...
They locked down.
yeah. Stuff's happening there.
Munio can get to Brayport, which can get us to Parnak, to Vassigar, Seaguard, pretty much any of the ports on the coast. But it's
Yeah, we need to go to Rastigar.
Where is that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we should go to Liberis. We should
Other
go
side
to
of the world.
Liberis. We should go to Liberis and Brayport and get a ship and go to Rastigar.
So one more time. Liberis is occupied by Ludos. It is very militarily active. It has been basically turned into kind of like the naval front of Munio is a bit more of a free trade city because the three kingdoms that are present, the kingdom of Ludos, the kingdom of Liberis, and the kingdom of Munio, before the Civil War was concluded, and now Ludos basically reigns with a monarch instead of a triumvirate, Munio still maintains its own sense of strength. Instead of having a king, instead they have kind of a ward who rules the city, but still politically swears fealty to the Ludosian region. Ludos is basically just a big old military city, very, militarily active. Heading south into the Galatia region, you're going to have more wild situations. So again, just from a mechanical point of view, Ludos is going to be a bit harder unless you're like really deceptive and are willing to hide yourselves. Munio is going to be very easy to get through, but a longer boat ride. Liberus is going to be a little bit harder to get through than Munio. Not as hard as Ludos, but a shorter boat ride. And then if you don't want to do the boat and just want to travel by land and possibly run into a whole bunch of opposition that is stuff you can't even imagine right now, like winter wolves and whatnot, then that's the way you want to go. Are you saying aw because you can hear it purring?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you cat. You're such a cat.
Show her socks.
What?
She has sock feet.
Yeah, she does.
Show me your socks.
She's smelling my keyboard. Pop your head up.
So yeah, I think Munio would be the best option. It'll take longer, but it's like
All right, yeah, let's do
the
Munio.
easiest.
Yeah, I want to avoid as much trouble as possible. There are very powerful people looking for me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're like, I don't know exactly what your story is, but you sound like you don't want to
So my thought wasn't
lead in
deliberately
with
get.
the
There
military.
was somebody very scary at that building that was on fire. Somebody
Yeah.
very scary.
Real quick. I mean, just if you want to discuss these things, they're not going to know unless you tell them. Is basically what it boils down to, Chad.
All right, hold on. We'll get back to that in a minute.
All right. Oris, your goal is Rostakar.
Why do you want to go to Rostagar?
Because my best friend betrayed me and I owe him an axe between the eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He destroyed my life, made me have to leave everything I knew, took a new name, took a new life, and left. So now that I'm strong and I've got the weapons and the gear and the gold necessary, I'm gonna go repay the favor and take his life from him.
See. Oh, so cute.
I'm pretty sure she knows how cameras work. She's a ham. Anyway, so you were saying, Chad?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're
All right.
okay.
So we came to the Burning Manor house, and there were a number of enforcers and witch hunters from the conglomerate, and they were being led by this woman that is known as Agent 19. She's a highly skilled enforcer in Osiria, and she works for the conglomerate, and she has a grisly reputation for torturing and mutilating people.
Sorry, my cat's
My kind of lady.
That sounds like something I'd want to avoid, so that's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, let's just go to my kind of lady.
So I was already suspicious of the Mageir ruling over Osiria. Davos and I encountered him. He is a lich. He's very old and very powerful, and
Is he a wizard?
I don't trust. I don't trust him, and I don't like basically whatever he's trying to accomplish is
Hold on.
probably bad news.
You asked if he's a wizard?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Again, you're a bit new, and the term lich is being thrown around kind of casually. Do you know what that means?
No.
So when a wizard gains enough power and realizes that their mortality is kind of falling away and they're not going to live much longer, they engage in very powerful and dark necromantic powers to turn themselves into undead that are sentient and capable of continuing their quest for gaining more power.
Okay.
And
They make a Horcrux.
they do this by, effectively, yeah, they do this by finding an item or an article and binding a portion of their soul to it, making them immortal. If they die, they return back and reconstitute their body at where their soul is located, an object. And what's mentioned casually in that conversation to Kelder is that the woman you spoke to and never got the name of, specifically stated what that phylactery was. She said it was a clock inside of a pyramid in the borough of Sunpike in Rostagar. But she also said operatives besides you are engaging in that process and dealing with it already.
Yeah, which I'm not sure what that's about. Why other operatives would betray him, and whoever these other operatives are, and whatever they think they're going to do, they're probably my
You're
uh,
saying
best chance to get out from underneath whatever's happening with myself and the conglomerate.
you're saying this with the assumption that what she means by taking care of is someone who's going to destroy it and not move the fucker, or some other.
Right. Well, either way, that's something. Either way, that's why I'm going. I want to learn more about what that means.
Because you got to remember we're dealing with John here, and he's a tricksy bastard.
It's true. Yeah. Yep.
So that's our motivations. Him to kill a lich, me to kill a human guy that stabbed me in the chest a few years ago.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that some more.
So definitely
Maybe
a
have
lot.
more drinks.
Definitely a lot going on here, Pleasant. But most of it seems kind of like revenge driven.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Directionally, based on where you're at and kind of being told where you're located in the world, the position that you're in, it doesn't really bode well for you to travel in a direct path home.
Yeah. So
How-
I'm well. They want to get to Rag,
Rostagar.
and that's closer than
Right.
where I am now. So I'm.
And a note, too.
good.
If you were to travel to Rostagar, continue through the province of Parnak, which is the southernmost province, through the city of Sorrowgate into the province of Leviat. Leviat is a lot more peaceful and less insane than everywhere else. They do have conglomerate presence, and it's probably the only time you've ever heard the word conglomerate is traders coming in from Leviat to Runaska to kind of discuss trade. But
Yeah.
the city of Runaska does not have a Mazir. The cities within your country don't deal with this conglomerate stuff. So it's definitely new to you, and out of character, it's definitely new to you. But from what you're gathering in the discussion, and from what you're learning, is they appear to be a very tyrannical group of law enforcement that kind of rules over a city, even though there's already a ruling body present, and focuses on the strict control of magic.
Yeah, I've got that from what I've heard so far. They sound not cool.
Yeah, think of them as magical Nazis.
Can they pay well?
No, they they typically don't pay non-magic users. You're
Because I totally wasn't thinking of betraying the others. Nope, nothing.
So, Kelder, I think we need to basically liquidate all our assets and get as much coin as possible, and figure out, how we're going to get to Munio and how we're going to get from Munio to Rastegar.
Okay. Now
So we need to get like potions and supplies and stuff like that for the road.
if you're taking the road. If you're going by boat, it's a different story. Sorry, to Munio is going to be on foot. You're right. Okay. So yeah, it's a good question. You do have a lot of currency, quite a bit.
Is there a place we can get horse and cart?
Horse and cart, yeah, not a problem.
Is there a place that is less guarded that we could get a horse and cart?
So most.
Are you suggesting we steal a horse and cart?
It's cheaper than renting it.
Yeah. But I mean, if we're in a city where what are they called?
We're in a city where we're burned
The Nazis are like kind of in control, and Chad's trying to not be
outed.
noticed. I don't think we should steal.
Well, you two can hide in a corner, and I'll steal the car.
He
I'm
is good at
also-
making a distraction.
In general, I'm pro stealing, but in this situation, I feel like
Discretion.
It's cheaper
kind of-
though.
In general,
And
I'm
we can use
pro
that
stealing.
gold
So
on potions and food and armor.
real quick, you did come to an interesting point there, Kate, and I want to drive that a little bit further because it's a smart one. You're pretty sure that stealing in the city is a problem, but you know that there has to be towns in between here and whatever city you're traveling to, and law enforcement is probably not a bigger thing in like a small, backwater town, but they'll probably have horse and buggy.
Okay, I can
So it's
work on
definitely
that.
easier to steal one once we get out on the road.
If your goal is to steal a wagon with a horse, stealing it out on the road would probably be safer.
But that means walking.
Maybe you shouldn't have such heavy armor and stuff.
He's
I'm not wearing armor at the moment.
Yeah,
I've got a
big
heavy
axe.
stick.
Yeah, an axe. It's heavy.
that axe
Big.
is heavy.
How much, money does everyone have?
You have most of it.
I know.
Yeah, I have a dagger and a golden cross, and together they're worth about 750 gold pieces.
Do you want to try and flip those in the market?
I mean, yeah, but we'll have to pretty much flip everything else.
So gemstones aren't required to be flipped. Gemstones can act as currency. So
How do I delete an item in my
Well,
inventory?
I'm keeping that as currency then.
So
I'm
you'll
keeping
click
mine.
on at the bottom. There's an edit button. And if you click that, it'll
Oh, I
put
see.
trash cans next to everything, and you just click the trash can of thing you don't want.
Oh, okay.
The marketplace that's closest to you is the Eastgate Market, which is right about here. So it's kind of on the way in the direction that you're going. You would note too, if you're heading that direction, from kind of the vibe that you got, Kelder, and also your understanding of Lady Fi from having traveled with her on that boat and seeing where she came from. She came from the embassy of Varwood, which is kind of on the same road.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by there and leave like a written note, like a message for her.
Okay. Better still, as you guys are approaching that direction and kind of looking towards the embassy, kind of looking for where you can drop off a note, you do see Lady Fi exiting out of the building and moving towards the road. She is not accompanied by the Dragonborn.
What are the little shapes next to your item
What's that?
on the character sheet?
Little shapes.
Yeah, there's like a square and a triangle and an 8-sided thing and like a square and then is it money?
Oh, coins. Those are the shapes of the coins.
Those are the coins. Okay, can I just instead of saying I have gold, do I just add them to that?
So
So you got copper, silver, electrum, which is basically half a gold, and then you have gold, and then you have platinum, which is essentially 10 gold.
correct.
Okay.
But for your gemstones, no, don't write down them as gold because you'll spend. Think of it this way: your coins will act as currency, like dollars and the like. But if you hand someone,
But I just have it says in my inventory I have coins.
oh
so-
no, yeah, use the little thing in the bottom corner there. Yeah.
Okay.
It should start from platinum at the top and move down to copper at the bottom, and exactly like Chad said. Think of copper as pennies. Think as silver as dimes. Think as electrum as 50-cent pieces. Think as gold as dollars, and think as platinum as $10. Pretty good way to do it. Well, that's how I do it. But yeah, Lady Fi is exiting out of the building. Doesn't look like she sees you or is moving towards you, but she looks a bit somber and kind of almost distressed.
Yeah, Keller definitely whistles and waves, tries to get her attention.
She looks over to you. She walks over and she says, "Yep, we're leaving the city. Let's go."
We're heading to what was the place we decided to go to? Munio?
It almost seems like she doesn't care. Like she just kind of passively hears you and kind of nods her head.
Where's my dragonborn friend?
You return back to the association.
So why have you decided to come with us?
Let's go.
Okay. So yeah, we go about our business of offloading liquidating all our loot and getting other stuff.
She seems kind of distant, not very talkative, but you do notice Oris as she's kind of with you that she's idly kind of touching the hilt of the sword, and it looks like she's kind of thinking on it. You don't know why. but she does
So
seem to be
the person inside the sword's a bit of a knob.
Hey, I got a question, John.
What?
So, no, I gotta go into it. You'll learn when you learn. But you're 100% accurate, Lewis.
I know I'm accurate.
I'm the person in the damn dagger. Anyways, what were you saying, Chad?
How much are these refilling ink bottles worth? I have 5 of them.
So being a member of the conglomerate, you know that selling magic items out in the open is probably a bad choice. You'd want to do that in a city that's a little less regulated.
Okay, well then I will hold on to these, and that is something that Pleasant and I are going to have to talk about later.
Perfectly fair. But yeah, if you liquidate your items, they're going to sell for half cost. So if you want to try and make it more than that, I will need a persuasion check as you haggle.
Can it be?
I have
Can
two
be.
short bows. Do
Nobody cares. Nobody wants to buy short bows from you.
Can I just like throw them away?
Yep.
I got an 18 persuasion.
Okay. Go ahead, Oris.
Can I intimidate the person that wants to buy my armor?
As you're about to kind of like, oh, you're selling armor?
I've got a set of plate armor that I can't wear, and I've not got time to get it forged into half plate, so I might as well sell the whole thing.
Okay. That's actually going to sell for 1/5 cost because it's not like a gem or gold or something that can easily be flipped. It's something that needs to kind of be, reworked for the customer and the like. So they're less interested in purchasing it. However, you can attempt to make an intimidation check to make them a little bit more amicable. However, if you fail this, it could potentially be law enforcement worthy. So before you make that as an option,
Sell it to the undercover cop.
no, it's not that. It's like, give me the money. This is how much it's worth, and you're making a disturbance, sir.
Oh.
I'm gonna call the guard over.
Money?
Okay, you kind of go. You're like, how about you take it? You give me the coin I want, and I let your shop stand. And the guy kind of looks at you and goes, "What?" And then he kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh," and he slides over 1/2 cost. So plate armor is how much?
Okay, fine.
1500.
1,500, so 750 gold pieces.
Okay.
It's in mostly platinum, so 700 gold pieces worth of platinum, so 70 plat. Right? Yep, that math checks out. And then 50 gold pieces. From the bag that he uses to kind of dispense that currency, you can tell that he doesn't have much more in the spending coin remaining on him.
Or is this just going to turn... Is there anything nice looking in the shop?
Well, it's not a shop. It's more of a stand. You guys are out in an open market area. Sorry, I didn't describe that. So yeah, you're moving from like vendor to vendor. People are selling hawking wares. The guy you're selling to is an armorer. He doesn't have like a blacksmith or anything doing anything, but there is a guy, a younger gentleman, and looks very similar to the merchant you're talking to, who has like a set of tongs and is kind of prying and moving metal, using a little bit of a device to heat it. Looks like a mechanical device, not unlike devices you've seen in Parnak, to kind of heat the metal and kind of move the metal a bit, shaping the metal. Looks like it might be a made-to-order job or like a fitting type thing. But everything looks mundane. Leathers is the main thing you're seeing here. There's a suit of half plate. There's a suit of splint mail.
Yeah, also just tap the boy on the shoulder and then...
He's kind of back
doing
in.
business
He's
on
kind of like back in the stall. Hard for you to move to the boy, but the older gentleman, the one who sold you it, kind of,
Yeah, just tap him on the shoulder and just like, nice doing business with you.
Yeah, he kind of nods his head, kind of looks over the plate. Pleasant, you probably overheard that exchange. Do me a favor and make an insight check.
What was he going to say to the man just to like give him a bit of not being a dick? He could go, that is old grey armor, so
Yeah.
you can maybe the price.
You don't know why, but you feel like the technique that Oris used wasn't terribly necessary. Like, it might have gone successful anyway. You almost get a... with your check, you're not sure why that's the case, but you feel like the guy was going to buy the armor regardless. And the guy kind of looks at you, Oris, when you say that, and kind of goes, like, raises his eyebrows and goes, like, it looks like he already knows, and like, duh, and kind of like starts putting the suit of the armor away.
I think I've still been cheapskate idiot.
Fair. With your persuasion check, Kelder, 75% of cost. So just take the total number, fraction it down, and you can actually get any amount of coin that you want, like coin-wise, if you want it all in platinum, or if you want it in. The reason why you would get platinum over gold is because it weighs less, or it'll weigh less.
Right.
You'd have, instead of having 100 coins, you'd have 10. All right.
And they're worth 10 each.
That's right.
Is there anyone walking around that looks like they've got
Right then.
a bag of gold they don't need?
Are you gonna try and rob someone?
I wasn't going to. I was going to plan and cause a distraction with the little bird person stuff.
Okay, so real quick note, you guys are basically going to, if you have a discussion, go ahead and do that, about how you're wanting to kind of engage in robbery, then just, tell me, talk amongst yourselves, tell me what the plan is.
Is that the best thing that we should be doing if we're
I
trying to just lay low and like get out of the city? Is rob someone?
I just think,
And this is coming from someone who likes stealing stuff, by the way. I'm just like, should we?
Burn anyway in this city because of Copperhead. I'm almost certain you're fine. I think us four are fucked.
Pleasant.
It's also a case of
One thing to sweeten the deal here is you're used to kind of like lower areas and like a noble quarter and kind of a sectioning of the city. That's not present here in Osiria. It looks like everybody here is well-to-do. So you're kind of thinking to yourself, we shouldn't be doing that. But then in the other part of your brain, you're like, man, I wonder how much is in those, really fancy silk coin purses. Like, it's like, yeah, we shouldn't do it. But at the same time, you're like,
the thing is,
guys, we shouldn't do it. I'm gonna be over here.
The thing is, as well, I reckon renting a ship, because that's what I'm hopeful. Getting us on a ship isn't going to be cheap. Yeah, I could probably cover it with 750 gold, but we also want to buy potions and stuff like that. And if we can steal more gold to have more potions, more supplies, and
Why don't we just steal the potions?
I think it'd be easier to steal the gold.
it would be a lot easier to steal the gold.
Oh, okay.
If the two of you want to engage in a process, you'll very quickly find out that Oris and all the things he's talking about, trying to make distractions and the like, is actually just infringing on your game. You're like, no. That's stupid. The thing you said, the suggestion you made, real dumb. And then you kind of go, let me handle it, and you kind of wander away. So you're going to spend about an hour thieving in the city and just, doing what you do. I want you to go ahead and make a single dexterity sleight of hand check.
Just dexterity.
Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
You've always been nearby, just in case she fucks up and Oris needs their help.
Okay. So,
So how do these dice rolls work, by the way? I don't
shit.
really understand how you read them.
Jesus Christ!
so how it works is
Those are really good rolls.
let me.
assume it was.
If you're rolling just regular, and I don't say you have advantage or disadvantage, you always take the first result. Okay.
The one on the left.
Whatever one's on the left. Yep.
Oh, okay.
If you're rolling with advantage, you take the higher of the two. If you're rolling,
I see.
If you're rolling with disadvantage, you take the lower of the two. And that's why it rolls 2. In real life, you roll 1 dice, and if someone says roll with advantage, you pick up 2 dice and roll it. But since
okay, that's why I was confused. Okay.
No problem. As she comes back to you, you can kind of hear like a jingle jangle as she's like approaching, and yeah, this place is loaded. In an hour's time, you made 450 gold pieces.
Whoa.
Oris picks up the bird and says you don't have to walk anymore.
You're pretty sure that if you were to continue doing it, it might be harder as you continue to do it throughout the day, but that's a pretty good haul for an hour's worth of work. You're used to making like 50 gold pieces in a day, using cut purse work and kind of scraping by, whereas this city seems to be a little bit more flush than you're used to.
We're basically playing blackjack. Do we twist or do we stick is the question.
Always hit.
Are you trying again?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
in life.
Okay, gotcha. You're like, games are different than. I don't want my bird.
Always offers his shoulder to the bird person so they don't have to walk because it's just I bow to you in your sleight of hand.
The coins are in like on a sorted amount, but it's like probably 25 or so different coin purses that you've managed to snatch. As you guys are kind of moseying about.
Holy shit!
As you guys are kind of moseying about, though, you do hear whispers of, "Hey, where's my gold?" Kind of looking around, and you realize that it's probably not a good idea to stick around, but it's also not a good idea to just dart off. So,
Can I give the description of Copperhead to someone? Saying, I thought I saw this person stealing your stuff, and just give the description of Copperhead.
okay, make a deception check. And if anybody wants
That's
to
amazing.
help,
That's hilarious.
help with the lie, but okay, if not, that's fine. You walk over and you say, "Yeah, I think I saw someone brush into you a bit ago. A fellow in blue leathers with missing fingers." And you hear a guard over here and kind of walk over and go, "Missing fingers, you say? We cut the fingers off of thieves who steal too much in this city." And Pleasant, that's not exactly what happens to people in your land. They just throw them in jail. This person's talking about ripping people's fingers off, and you're kind of like, oh.
Good thing I have wings, bitch.
But then the guard says, "We'll keep an eye out, sir," the person who was complaining about losing their coin purse. And they kind of splinter off, and the gentleman says, "You're so nice. I'd offer to give you some sort of reward, but not until I get my gold purse."
What have they got on them? Like,
No.
what are they wearing?
No, they don't. No.
Got a cape?
Thank you, kind citizen. Your
I'll take
efforts are
the cape.
appreciated.
Do you impose and say, "Well, I'll take your ring" or something like that? Are you really doing that? It's like, well, since
If they got a cape,
you
got a
slightly
cloak.
mentioned a reward, how about you give me something?
it's
No.
tempting, but no. Also, just be like, oh, I'm just doing my duty.
All right.
I'm ever so sorry. And also go give him 2 gold coins, just like it's not much, but just to make sure you can get the
He says, "Thank you. I should be able to make.
back.
Yeah, I should be able to make it back through the canals now. Thank you so much. You've been so kind." And
Just all this. Just remember the name. If I ever need a hand, I might call him.
suspicion is definitely dispersed in other directions.
Or Urs comes back, and I'm like, ooh, I'm so kind. I just mock him. I just fucking mock him.
Fi like seems to have watched the whole situation unfold, and it's just kind of shaking your head.
Meanwhile, Kelder's like, "What do you think looks better, like blue or yellow?" Like, still like trying to come up with some sort of new outfit. Has no idea that like his companions are just fucking robbing everybody.
Just oblivious.
Yeah. After you spend some time in the market, is there anything else that you want to do in the market? Now, keep in mind, there are other ways to gain money that aren't quite as illicit.
Unsavory.
Yeah. If you are performing type, you can try and entertain some people. If you are the religious type, you can try and proselytize and get people to give you tips. There's other options.
Well, flippantly practicing magic is probably not a good idea right now.
Yeah.
Who wants to pay to see me throw the elf 20 feet?
Nobody pays attention to you.
I'm busy dressing up my character sheet, like fixing all my currency and buying new gear.
Yeah, so anything that's in the player's handbook, including potions of healing, is purchasable in this place. However, potions of healing are not 50 gold pieces. They are 100 gold pieces, because they are being imported from the Southlands, specifically the city of Jernaris. If you haven't played in one of my games before, the Jernaris healing potion has a very specific kind of flavor to it when drank. Very acrid, very much like blood. They are marked with kind of holy religious markings, and it's said that they're made by a banding of nurses in monasteries, or not nurses, nuns in monasteries, who create these potions for everyone.
So,
Okay, well, I adjusted the price on that as well. I also bought myself new armor, so now my AC is 16.
Okay.
so would anyone have a book that leans towards what I want to do at later levels?
What's that?
No.
No, I didn't think there would. I reckon that'll probably be black
And
market.
do me a
stuff
favor.
here.
If you were probably asking about that, so go ahead and do me a favor and just make me a D100 roll.
Oh, never mind.
Well, are you looking for steroids?
Okay. It seems like your questions are kind of brushed off and not really paid attention to the person who's asking it. So it's an interesting question, but no, yeah, certainly something that might have already been sanctioned and taken into control by the conglomerate. And the guy kind of leans in and says, "You better watch what you're asking." Kind of backs away. All right. And then you guys head north out of the city, right? Making your way up the northern road, following the Munios River to the city of Munio. That's the goal, right? Okay.
I'll have a nosy at how much a horse and cart is.
If you want to try and seek that out, there are a couple of stables outside. Horses run for the same price that they run in the player's handbook, as do carts and
I've no
wagons.
idea.
You can click on the I option. I think it gives the cost for them. Hold on. Let me check.
Wait, so are we going toward the city? I thought we were leaving. Trying to leave the city.
No, yeah, that's true. He's saying that he wants to try and buy a horse and buggy.
Uh-huh.
At the very least, have a nosy at how much it costs, and I can't see if I find anything.
And I'm looking for my player's handbook and not finding it. Interesting. I need to clean my room. But yeah, it should be on there. It's real strange.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah, you can buy either a riding horse or a war horse, or beasts of burden. Let's see.
So a draft horse is 50 gold pieces, a riding horse is 75 gold pieces, a pony is 30 gold pieces, and a war horse is 400 gold pieces.
Sounds right.
a warhorse, 400,
Uh-huh.
and a pony was what?
30.
I might buy a warhorse and a pony. Give the Kenku the pony. Take the warhorse for myself.
Yeah, it looks like...
Keldor can walk.
Just make me walk.
Yeah.
You can buy an
thought me-
elephant. You can buy an elephant for 200 gold pieces.
The elephant is cheaper than the war horse
Yeah.
by a lot.
Well, the elephant...
That's a lot.
So real quick, the reason why the warhorse is worth more is because it's trained to engage in combat. It's trained to stay in combat. If people start mashing swords together and yelling really loudly, a horse, pony, whatever, it's going to spook and it's going to run away. It's not going to stick around for a fight, even if you're on it. It's going to try and get out of that situation. It's not going to follow your orders. It's going to be hard to maintain, requiring animal handling checks. Whereas a warhorse is going to be like, oh, we're doing this? Okay, I'm going to put my hoof in this thing's face and, actually help you out in the fight.
Will the elephant help you in the fight, though?
No, the elephant will get spooked. It'll run away. I mean, it's the same situation. Unless it's a war elephant. And I believe from Yielden times, those were worth 1,000 gold pieces. But I don't know if those are in the player's handbook.
Keldor, do you have 100 gold pieces?
Why?
Because we could buy 2 warhorses. I'm willing to front most of the cost to get 2 warhorses and a pony.
Do we need one for the players that aren't here right now?
I think we could just get riding horses.
You see, if you guys are actually talking and standing outside of a stables, purchasing horses, you watch Lady Fi kind of walk over to the individual as you're talking along the side. She puts something out onto the table, sets it to the side, and the guy kind of looks down at it, kind of nods his head. She picks up the piece of paper, and you see him kind of run over to a young elven lad and kind of say something to him, and he rushes off.
I reckon Fi already had a horse, didn't she?
Correct.
Yep.
Interesting.
She already
So,
has
I mean, riding horses they're a hell of a lot cheaper, and they run just as fast as a war horse. So if you want to pony up for a war horse, pun intended, I'm gonna get a riding horse.
What about what about getting a cart? And so we just need like
A wagon is 35 gold pieces. That's dirt cheap. We can totally pick that up.
You can pull it with a draft horse. You can pull it with a draft animal like a mule or a donkey, what have you. It cannot be pulled by a riding horse.
Okay, so I'll get a riding horse. We'll get a wagon. We'll get a draft horse. Pleasant can use the wagon, and then Boris can do whatever.
Horse is buying a war horse. I didn't think that'd be an option, but it's definitely an option.
Okay. You're gonna be the Frank Frazetta death dealer of the party.
I'm already having to be at the front. If I can at least get someone that's gonna help me.
As you guys are mustering your coin,
I feel personally attacked.
as you guys are mustering your coin, getting ready to make some purchases and get there, you see the young elven lad come back around to the front, pulling or guiding a horse to the front. The horse in question is much larger than any war horse you've ever seen, with bright red fur. And just a very regal-looking posture, a huge, elegant-looking, like fiery yellow mane, and an elegant-looking set of riding materials, bit and bridle, and saddlebags and saddle. And Lady Fi walks out, takes the reins of the horse. As she's heading outside, she says, "I'll be ready when you are," and just walks out to her horse. Oris. And
what's that?
Kelder, you already know, because you're an elf, these are the elvish riding horses of the summer elves. They're known as the Ranahin, and they are basically legendary horses birthed from, like, the god of horses, or the archfey of horses.
I want one.
How do I get one?
She doesn't seem to talk to you other than, "I'll be outside when you're ready," and hopped onto her badass horse.
Was he gonna
She's
have
just
a
like,
nosy at
"Oh,
what
I got
gender
this
is
horse."
her horse?
What's that?
What gender is the horse?
Male.
That Fi's got. Or is he gonna get a war horse and try and make sure it's female?
You can't. Those horses are they're special horses.
Watch me. if a horse, if you can get a mule, you can get something of them too.
Get like a
I'll at least
purple.
give it
This
a go.
is how you get like My Little Ponies.
Also, real quick note: the horse doesn't come out fully formed, ready to ride. There is a process of raising a horse. So just to note, it's not like if we put them together, I get a cooler horse. It's gosh, this is going to be a lot of work raising and rearing a horse. But
I'm making a retirement plan, man. Retirement plan.
fair enough.
So hers is a riding horse.
Hers is not a riding horse. Hers is not a war
Wait,
horse. Hers
well,
is
like-
better than all of the horses.
I know it's like a cool whatever red horse, but can it pull things?
Equivalency, it's not going to pull. It could. It's not going to.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know. He's super strong. He should be able to.
He probably could, but she's probably going to say to you, if that's asked, she'll say, "That's beneath this horse."
Yeah.
Always will put
This horse is too good for that shit.
This horse is too good for that shit.
Can I
Yeah, or-
pet the horse?
Yeah, it seems very receptive.
I want to pet that horse.
Looking into its eye, you actually kind of see a bit of intelligence there. It's like, the horse is actually kind of like looking at you, and then kind of like gives you kind of like an almost smile, horsey kind of just happy look as you kind of pet the side of it. I mean, you're a pretty short individual, so you're kind of reaching up and like brushing just like the lower portion of the haunch there, and it kind of turns and looks back at you and kind of gives you like a happy kind of look.
I feel like we got those animal vibes together.
Yeah.
So I have just realised I'm offering to buy the person with the most gold a pony. What am I doing? I'm just going to buy him a war horse.
She can buy her own damn horse.
So you're getting a war horse. Chad, you're getting
I'm getting a riding horse.
Do you like, in order to ride animals, do you need to have an animal handling?
No, you can make animal handling is a skill you can make untrained. If you're trying to maneuver it like into something harsh or trying to do something with it that isn't just casual strolling, animal handling is required. If it's like a specifically hard animal or beast to kind of control, such as that Ranahin, you need to make an animal handling check. And then on top of that, if you're trying to control a horse but not to ride but to pull a wagon, different skill entirely. Vehicles land is the check that you need to make at that point.
So what's the difference between a horse and a pony?
Size.
Just like nothing else, like speed or
Size. They're about the same.
okay.
They're about the
The
same
carrying
speed.
capacity is much different.
They're-
Okay, well, I mean, I'm a lot smaller, so I'm just gonna get a pony then.
Right. Most of the reason for ponies being a purchasable option is for halflings and gnomes to ride.
What was he gonna
Am
pay for
I
his-
light enough for the pony?
Yeah.
You're light enough. You could just. I mean, we can get a wagon and a draft horse to pull that wagon. The thing is, like a war horse has a speed of 60 feet. A riding horse has a speed of 60 feet.
So real
A
quick,
pony has a speed of 40 feet, which means it's
Yeah, that's what I
substantially slower than the rest of the things.
So a real quick note, Pleasant. They keep on mentioning wagon, and you keep on thinking to yourself, wagons are going to be hard to hide. Wagons are going to be hard to take care of
Yeah.
and maintain. Wagons are going to be hard to maneuver to places you want to go. The only purpose of having a wagon is if you have something in bulk that you're trying to move, and you don't.
Yeah,
So
so I don't think we really need a wagon.
Okay. Yeah, we can get by without a wagon. We don't even really need to get you a horse. You could just ride double with somebody. But if you want your own horse, we can make
Is that
happen.
okay? Can I do that?
Lady Fi offers you a portion of her saddle.
Hell yeah, I want to get on her horse.
Cool.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
What was he gonna pay for his war horse with
Warhorse.
all his gems,
Okay,
some gold, and the rest in platinum?
sounds good. And how about
Basically,
you, Kelder?
it cost me.
I'm probably going to do it with.
You're getting a warhorse or riding?
I'm getting a riding horse.
Okay.
So it's going to be 7 platinum and 5 gold, and then another 2 gold for the bit and bridle.
Sounds good.
Wait, do I need to pay for all the other? Yeah, okay. I guess another 12 gold for the saddle as well.
Oh, I didn't know about that bit. How much of that do I have to buy?
Same cost.
12 extra gold? Is there armor for a horse?
Barding.
Yeah, but that costs a lot of money.
Barding's a different story, and they don't exactly have barding on the ready, other than the equivalent of, I believe, splint armor. And hold on a second.
How much is that?
One second.
So barding is basically the same cost as regular armor times 4.
Correct.
How much
So
is
like
split?
plate barding would be 6,000 gold pieces.
Splint. How much is splint again?
Splint is 200, so times 4 would be
800. He says, I'll throw in the barding that we have here with the horse, since you guys have been pretty good customers so far, for 700.
Does anyone have 100 gold?
I mean, I have it, but you can't have it.
I will give someone my sword, my magic sword that I can't use anymore for
sword.
100 gold.
He's willing to give you a magic sword. Do you say that aloud?
Oh,
Not-
yeah.
I just say my sword because they've all seen my sword.
I already
Wow.
have a magic sword.
They've seen one sword. They've not seen
What
the
are you
other
trying to buy?
He did say magic sword, though. If you kind of said it aloud, so the guy will kind of look to you and go, "You have a magic sword?" Kind of like moves over closer to you. 300 in the sword.
Fucking deal.
All right.
Takes out King's Grace,
Keller
passes
sort
it
of
to
just
him.
standing there with like his mouth open. He's so confused.
So
and, like so emotionally conflicted.
and
He's like, this isn't safe at all.
also, it's conglomerate illegal. He just illegally sold a magic item to someone.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I was
I'm
just
not
about
really
to
in
say.
I'm not in any position to enforce those laws anymore.
The guy seems like happy as can be, and looks over to the boy and kind of says, "The barding," and he kind of goes, "Okay," and starts loading it up
He
onto the
got
horse.
shafted there.
But at the same time, it's not like, oh man.
Dad, is your guy, is he like an ex-magic Nazi or something?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I do love the fact that
He was working for him, but then he found out like what what's really going on behind the scenes and who they really are and what they're really capable of.
Okay, yeah.
Can I just say, Oris has just got the best deal out of that ever. That sword is not even worth like 200 gold.
It's actually worth 500 gold.
What? But it's just a +1 sword.
It's worth 500 gold.
Oh, I've been shafted here.
Yeah, and that's the baseline price for an uncommon magic item. In a place where magic items aren't really sold or trafficked or anything, it's probably worth about 1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah, that was part of Kelder's expression.
What
Wait, he's like, this shouldn't be happening. He basically just watched like an illegal sale of firearms.
Yeah, and the person who had the sale of firearms didn't know what he had. 200 gold
he was
for
just
a lot.
getting roasted.
200 gold for a magic item. What game are you in, man? No,
I like how excited you were. They were like, yeah, and then you're like,
I'm an idiot.
That's such a good deal. I got such a bad deal. Yeah, you couldn't have sold it anywhere, so you got kind of lucky in this guy wanting it. And actually, as you're kind of watching them load the barding onto the horse and kind of get it set, the young lad kind of walks over to you and he says, "You're gonna have to make sure that you take off the barding every night when you put the horse to set. You don't want it carrying the armor all day." And it's basically kindly going over, all the details and helping you kind of maintain stuff you may not be aware of, make sure that the armor is set right. If the animal, acts a certain way, it's probably because of chafing or possibly biting from the splint mail, and et cetera, et cetera. And you're like, yeah. And you're, taking the information in kind. But you can often see the actual, keep of the stables, behind the counter, kind of looking at his sword, drawing the sword, going, ah. And then he kind of picks up a piece of leather, and you hear him cut the leather on the sword. Ooh.
It's called King's Grace.
He goes, awesome! It's got a name.
All the best swords do.
What a fucking fanboy.
As you guys get onto your associated steeds, another stop moment where you see a character doing something besides. He leaves the town the next day and goes on an adventure to some weird cavern he heard about in the northern areas up in the colder lands. But now he's got a magic sword and he goes with a couple of friends who are also the adventurous types and probably dies horribly. Anyways,
he's gonna show up at some point. He says died horribly. He's gonna show up at some point down the line. They're gonna be like, motherfucker.
The horse salesman. Awesome.
Gary.
But
you shall call him
comes
Gary.
back as a super strong dude.
As you guys kind of get out of this city and kind of make your way, when you finally make it to a way station, a small village or hamlet, where very little is kind of present there, not exactly a big deal. Maybe a total of 10 buildings in total, kind of built along the sides of the road. You do see, as you're riding up in that direction, the day has kind of progressed to afternoon time, but you do see that some others have ridden up on that place as well. Specifically one other individual has ridden up on that place as well. And as you move to look at it, you see that the individual on the back of this riding horse is Davos, kind of looking over his shoulder back at you. And you can see that his leather armor has been cut in several locations, and there's some scarring on his cheeks and on his hands.
Damn.
And that
Davos is the NPC, right?
Davos is the Murphy's character.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's been regulated to NPC because of scheduling conflicts, but
yeah, but there was another NPC guy that was.
Yeah, he should definitely be back by next week.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put it to you guys. I can continue going if you want. We can go a little bit more, or we can just pause here since the group is basically reuniting, and I can give segmented information to the others as to what happened with them. Your call. We've gone 2 hours, but we can keep going if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I was prepared for more.
Yeah, the only reason I'm suggesting it as a stopping point is because we're missing a couple of people. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I mean, my wife's in, she's doing her modeling thing. So
she's having a good time.
She really is, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah, keeping an eye on her Instagram. Same. Laura Suzanne at Laura Suzanne. Yeah, go to that. No one's watching. Well, anyway, do you guys want to continue, or do you want to pause it here so that when we start next week, we'll have everyone and everyone will be.
Well, I just texted Murphy to see if he's actually home yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I figure if he is home, he could hop on and because I mean he was out of character for the rest of the game. So if he wanted to hop on, that would be a good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'd just basically tell him what happened.
I miss the cat.
My cat?
Yeah.
She's probably on the bed.
I miss our friend cat that was feeding out Ravis for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. I miss Ravis, to be honest.
I don't. He's supposed to run a game that I'm in, but we've not played that game in ages, and because of now new job, I can't even properly play that one now, even if we restart.
So,
Night shifts.
since we're kind of like just down right here, I'll explain a couple of things that might have been mentioned, so you kind of are up to speed on it, Kate. The weapon
Okay.
that the weapon that Fi has, the sword, was a weapon that was given to a character that Lewis played in a game of mine
Cool.
named Hadrian.
Adrian Mata.
The weapons have taken on the people who wielded them at some point. So Hadrian Mercer, the character he played, who was a knobhead, is the person that's in that dagger. So that's why he got a good giggle out of that.
Some like to understand the level of knobhead, he angered a god, basically a god, into giving him a magic boat.
That's alternate
His primary
universe.
goal was
That's not real. It didn't
his
happen.
his primary goal was to get a hat, and he punched the dragon in the face because
Yeah.
he thought it'd be a good idea.
But more specifically, he had the spell Fly cast upon him, picked up the dwarf of the group, flew over an entire army of goblins, and then dropped the dwarf and flew down. Or no, the dwarf was flying. You were walking. The dwarf dropped Hadrian, but he commanded the dwarf to fly him there and drop him off on the boss of the goblins, so he could fight him in one-on-one combat. He hit him. And then the hobgoblin hit him back.
Straight down.
The dwarf was like, "Great plan."
Hey, the plan would have worked if I didn't roll shite.
Yeah, and if he wasn't a badass hobgoblin.
So Murphy won't be able to join us.
Okay.
I'm willing to keep playing.
But
So am I.
again, I feel like it'll be better with everyone, and I do apologize. I'm not trying to cut it off. I don't want to have to NPC conversations that I don't know how they would actually go, because it feels bad forcing people to do things that they may not want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream here. So,
Okay.